and they took it out. But
Mr. Dieter,
yes, ma'am.
If we were going to base our belief on one word, we would be a lost people. There are many other scriptures which I can quote and which I've quoted.
No, you quote
that
one at
show
a time.
it.
If you quote one at a time, like this now.
That's right.
The word begotten we are discussing, I said, look, this word begotten, you have to tell me now that these 32 scholars of the Christian Bible were not scholars. That they were lay people or barbers, shoemakers, they went and produced this book. These 50 denominations, that you don't belong to that, but those 50 denominations are all heathen or they're unbelievers. They went and produced this book and they sold millions of this. And they made a net profit of 11 to 15 million on this book alone.
May I quote
Yes.
from this book,
Yes.
the doctrine of the begotten Son of God from the Scriptures? All right?
The word begotten.
The word begotten. The RSV, I do think it's an inferior translation, but it's one you put your faith in. I quote.
I didn't. This is your church that have produced it.
Your point. All right. For to what angel did God ever say, "Thou art my son, today I have begotten thee"? Or again, "I will be to him a father, he shall be to me a son." And in verse 7, of the angels he says, "Who makes his angels winds and his servants flames of fire. But of the Son he says, "Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever."
Now, where was this quotation taken from?
Hebrews chapter 1.
Right.
Quoting the Psalms.
Right. So we go to the book of Psalms and we find that this was attributed to David. God Almighty is speaking to David. He said, "I will declare a decree unto thee, that thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee." God is speaking to David. This day means today. I have brought you into being. Begotten. When did God Almighty tell Jesus that I have begotten you today? In the canonical Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Is there a single statement, voice heard from heaven, God saying that I have begotten you today? No. But this is what we read in the book of Psalms, and God had spoken those words to David. Now if you take them out from there and you apply them as Paul has done to make God out of Jesus, well, that is his business. But what I am saying is this, that Jesus Christ, there is not, it's an amazing thing, that you are not quoting me a single word of Jesus. Whatever you are out to prove, there is not one word I'm hearing that Jesus said this or Jesus said that. You're quoting me Paul again and again. He's quoting scripture from the Old Testament, and I said when you look at it on the very face of it, he's not talking about Jesus, he's talking about David.